Taylor Swift, the Greater Humiliates Hollywood. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I've undertaken a detailed analysis of Taylor Swift and explained why she is a narcissist, and she's an aware one. Naturally, there are those that follow her work who can't see this and won't see it because they fail to appreciate the evidence as presented to them. This isn't to say that Taylor Swift is a good thing or a bad thing. It's you that makes that decision. I'm simply telling you what she is, and it's for you to make your own mind up as to whether that is something that you can tolerate or whether it's something that is a problem for you. I've made it very clear that much of what you enjoy by way of watching actors and actresses, pop stars, rock stars, works of literature, technological advances, television output, much in the world of innovation, much in the world of entertainment, is generated by my kind. You don't actually know the people that do it. You know of them, you know who they are, but you don't get to spend day after day after day with them, and therefore you don't get to experience the devaluing behaviours. Thus you get the best of the narcissist. You're treated to their public facade and their strengths in terms of ambition, creativity, ingenuity, whatever it might be, without the downside of having a personal relationship with them that's opening yourself up for devaluing behaviours. I've also, with the analysis of Taylor Swift, on repeated instances thereafter, interpreted her behaviour through the lens of her greater narcissism. And there's another opportunity to do so as a consequence of an article by John Nolte, which appears in Breitbart. Of course, this is a right-wing publication, and it's not so much about the politics, although you can't avoid them in the article, but it's more about demonstrating and showing how a greater, such as Taylor Swift, is able to deal with an entire industry. Such is the extent of her calculated behaviour, her reach, her ability. She is able to take such action which could be seen to humiliate Hollywood. In its second weekend, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, grossed another $32 million, humiliating Leonardo DiCaprio's Killers of the Flower Moon, which debuted to just $22 million. Why is this important? Asks John Nolte. Here's why. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, was produced by Taylor Swift and her team. It was also distributed by Taylor Swift and her team. Swift Inc. froze Hollywood out and went straight to the theatre chains. This is demonstrative of the calculated mindset of the greater and the ability to assert control by ensuring that she got her film into theatres by producing it and distributing it so that there was no external interference. The result has been a box office triumph. In its first weekend, the Eras Tour grossed $93 million domestic and $124 million worldwide. After only 3 days, Swift already had the highest grossing concert film in history. Moreover, she enjoyed the second biggest October opening weekend ever. Only Joker 2019 topped her, and Hollywood had nothing to do with any of it. Hollywood didn't make one penny off it. This so terrifies Hollywood that Hollywood's palace guards at the far-left Hollywood Reporter spent 1,500 words last week spinning Swift's box office triumph into a mistake. And what was the mistake? She didn't distribute the Eras Tour through the same studios that advertised at the far-left Hollywood Reporter. Here's what Nolte wrote last Friday. Creators and producers are now thinking the exact opposite. They are now looking at what Swift Inc. just pulled off and wondering why they can't do the same. Thus, as a greater, Taylor Swift circumnavigates something that would affect her control, but also becomes a trailblazer. Barbara Broccoli owns James Bond outright, Why pay Sony all that money when she can cut a deal with AMC or Regal or both? Post Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan has been producing blockbusters unattached to studio-owned properties. What's to stop him from going directly to exhibitors? And now, Swift's second weekend has humiliated a major Hollywood studio, Apple Studios, an Oscar-winning director, Martin Scorsese, and two of Hollywood's biggest stars, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. Additionally, Killers of the Flower Moon is a prestige picture enjoying rapturous reviews. Flower Moon's $22 million opening also qualifies as a standalone disappointment. Projections had the Oscar bait opening between $29 million and $38 million, and it cost $200 million to produce. It's not a disaster. Apple produced Flower Moon to attract subscribers to Apple TV+, which is where it will head soon. By Monday, the era's tour's domestic gross will hover right around $150 million. And instead of handing 10 to 20% to the Hollywood studios, Swift Inc. just proved to every content creator that with enough hot property, you don't need Hollywood's vaunted distribution system. Now, only a greater would be able to have the clout, the sight, and the ability to work around such a substantial threat to control that the studios would pose and their usual monopoly that they would have on production and distributorship. Of course, there are many people that could do those things themselves, but they would not get a result, a resounding victory in the same way as Taylor Swift has done, with a level of money that has been generated, which of course is a residual benefit. Beyoncé Inc. also figured it out. Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé, hits theatres on December the 1st, and Hollywood has nothing to do with it. But it is Taylor Swift that has got there by ensuring that the threat to the control that was posed by the involvement of the studios has been outflanked, outmaneuvered, circumnavigated, enabling her both to produce her work and distribute it so that she keeps control of what that output is, keeps control of where it's going to appear, and reaps the lion's share of the monetary reward, which is a residual benefit. Perhaps describing it as a humiliation of Hollywood is a hyperbole of Breitbart. But the fact is, this shows the calculated manner of the Greater Narcissist and how effective it is to basically cut out an entire industry for her own gain. And to that, one would applaud it. But it is a useful example of seeing how somebody such as her would function and operate to her sole benefit. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.